Hey guys, it is movement time. So, what are we going to do it? What are we going to do? How are we going to do it? What is your plan for this week to start making our second goal of increasing our movement this week? So, thank you so much to those last week that posted both the wins and the struggles. It really made a huge difference in building our community and when we're doing this together. So, thank you so much for sharing your life with us, and please keep going. To anyone and everyone who simply increased their water last week, good job. I promise you it will make a difference, especially as we do it consistently over this whole challenge and even over the next few months. If you continue these lifestyle habits, they can make a huge difference in how you feel and how you look and in your overall health. So keep going. So we're talking today, why do we need to move? Why is that important? What does it do for us? So movement can do so many things. It can help us to digest food after a meal. It can lubricate our joints to decrease our pain, to make us more functional in our day-to-day activities. And from a PT perspective, guys, movement is a great way to help restore the body's movement, to decrease the pain, decrease the inflammation, get the junk out of our joints that's causing the inflammation. But it doesn't stop there. Movement helps to reset the blood sugar, right? Say maybe we've had a higher carb meal, we want to go for a walk. That's a huge way to help decrease that post-meal blood sugar and decrease the inflammation and the fatigue that can come from that. So that's a tool in your toolbox. Movement also helps to get the junk in our bloodstream, the junk in our joints. It helps us to flush it out, especially when you combine it with the water. So you're moving, you're drinking the water, you're sweating. There's a lot of things happening to help your health, your well-being, the hormones, the sleep, especially if you're outside. Now, I know the weather this week is not for us as far as being outside, but I still encourage as you can to get outside early morning or late at night because that sunset can really help your sleep. So this week is 20 minutes of movement. So for you, I really want you to evaluate where you're at. If you're someone who's spending 8 hours as a nurse on her feet all day long, or like on my Monday, Wednesday, Fridays as a therapist, I'm exhausted when I come home. And to be honest, there are times in my health journey where I can feel I'm in some sort of a flare up. And I cannot tolerate a workout, a full work day, and then coming home and having farm chores, even cooking dinner, doing the things that I want to do when I get home. So I've learned that I kind of have to listen to my body. And if there's a lot going on, my workout's going to be kind of brought back a little bit on those work days. So what do you need? Where are you at? If you're someone that's up and moving all day long, that doesn't count for your 20 minutes. What it does count is, you're not sedentary, which is great. So your 20 minutes of movement might look different. You might be sitting and stretching. You might be laying down and stretching. You might be doing some back stretching, stretching the back of your legs, neck stretching for headaches, whatever it is. So or maybe again, I've learned too that when I add a walk in throughout, even if I've been walking throughout the day, if I take 10 minutes, just go for a walk, or I get on the treadmill for a few minutes because it's super hot or super cold, I just feel loosened up at that point. And it's also it really helps my stress level, especially if I've got a good positive Christian podcast or worship music, and I kind of use that as prayer time. So we're doing two things. One, we're reducing stress, and two, we're getting movement. Three, we're helping digestion after that meal. So it can do a lot of things. If you're someone that's sedentary, you could do 5 minutes of walking in the morning, 5 minutes walking in the afternoon, 5 minutes walking in the evening, or you want to do bigger, longer chunks. Maybe you're already doing 20 minutes several days a week. So how can you work to increase that, or what can you do differently to help your body feel better? Maybe that's adding a stretching session. Maybe that's adding weights 1 to 2 to 3 times a week. Super supportive for thyroid, blood sugar control, hormones, all the things done in the right way. So keep those as tools as well. So I want you to keep going. I'm so glad you're here, and I really want to keep building on the momentum. So please post your movement pictures this week. It can be playing with the kids as well. It could be sitting in the chair, doing some arm pumps, leg pumps, holding a can of soup. Everyone's different. Please don't say you can't do this. I don't care if you're on vacation, if you're sick this week, whatever it is, your 20 minutes of movement will make a difference every single day. And again, adjust it to what you need for that day. So I'm so glad you're here. Keep up on the water and the minerals. Don't let that go. Hopefully, that's becoming more of a routine. It's not so hard. Again, remember to get up, get that water, that lemon, that salt. It'll all help to flush the junk first thing in the morning. It'll help you to feel better. And then get that movement in. Put it where it feels best for you. I have learned that if I get up and I drink a bunch of water and I do some sort of movement, whether it's my day that I can go to the gym because I've got more time, or I do a little bit on the rebounder or some stretching, whatever I can before work, it makes a huge difference in my perspective and my anxiety level, especially when I'm seeking the Lord in that time, or whatever that might be for you, as far as getting your focus, getting your perspective for the day. For me, it's definitely seeking Him. It's understanding that He's in control and I am not. And that this day is not necessarily always about my 10 billion things to do, but what does He want to do in and through me? So I hope that helps. I hope that inspires. And I'm so glad you're here. So keep it up. Keep posting the wins and the hard struggles. For those of us that were hurting yesterday, I hope today is better. And I hope this week you continue to gain steam and momentum. Lots of reasons to move. Lots of reasons not to move. I understand. But do something, even if it's just some stretching. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Looking forward to seeing your pictures.